Give a little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Undo the locks and throw away the keys, and take off your shoes and socks and run you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Jordan Jesse Go's MaxFunDrive live stream, our first of 2025. Jordan, I'm ready to debut our brand new live stream only program.
Oh my
It's
God, I can't wait.
It's called the Subdoms.
That's right. The sub doms. We're going to be eating sub sandwiches while having our balls flicked.
Jordan, we're going to be dominating sub sandwiches. Actually, what we're going to be doing on the Subdoms is checking out some of the subreddits that you suggested to us live on air. Hi, everyone who's watching. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone who is listening via podcast. We love you too. And hi, everyone who's already a member of Maximum Fun, everyone who's gone to MaximumFun.org/join. Jordan, you are going to be leading our sub investigation today. What
Yes.
subreddit is the subject of our first episode?
Yeah, this was actually suggested by a listener. I don't have their name handy. Stephen Ray Morris, producing on the other end. If you, for some reason, you happen to know the name of the listener that suggested r/Ambien, please let us know. I guess we should say if something we've been very into on Jordan Jesse Go in the past year or so is like incredibly niche subreddits where no one mentions politics or the real world. Where they just talk about one subject obsessively, and the vibes are pretty good. What are our favorites, Jesse? r/root beer we love. r/marbles.
I'm
r/Archie
a big
comics.
r/dogs on roofs.
Dogs on roofs. So these
Oh
are
my
the fun
God.
places.
It just occurred to me, Jordan, that there's almost certainly r/capybaras, right?
There's got to be, right? Oh, and that's
144,000 members join.
oh wow, that's an active subreddit. Stephen Ray Morris here with us on the stream.
Hi, I just wanted to pop in and say that Anthony M sent us the delightful Ambien page to us.
Thank you, Anthony M. Thank you,
Thank you,
Anthony
Stephen.
Thank you, Anthony. So r/Ambien was really fun. Ambien, of course, the medication for insomnia. But apparently, if you take Ambien and try and stay up, you go insane. I'm going to read I'm going to read the kind of mission statement here for r/Ambien. First of all, it starts with this all caps declaration: chop off all your hair. And then it goes on to explain, that this is a purely informational subreddit, for Ambien questions, and you shouldn't just post crazy Ambien thoughts you're having. People ignore this all the time. It is some practical information on Ambien. People just like, oh, does it interact with other medications? What dosage should I take? And then it is, so that's about, 75% of the sub. And then the other 25%, the most insane shit you've ever read in your life.
There is the like pinned post on r/Ambien just says the subject line is, "Hi, Lord Meme 42 here with a PSA." So first of all, shout out to Lord Meme 42.
Shout out to Lord Meme.
We have no choice but to bow before this meme legend.
Yes.
Lord Meme 42 made a flow chart for whether you should post on r/Ambien. It says a handy flow chart for people who can't read rules. It starts with the question, are you currently on the sleep medication Ambien? If the answer to that is yes, you get to post. If the answer to that is no, you ask the question, have you formerly taken Ambien and want to share a story or experience? Again, that's a yes. If you get a yes, you can post to that. Then there's a side one, which says, do you think this is a meme subreddit? And if one of them is yes, and that leads you to you are wrong, go to r/Bingus. And then
sure.
And then if you choose no, it says you are correct. If you don't know what it is, this is a subreddit about the sleep medication Ambien, and the weird posts are a mix of high/tired Ambien users and people who don't know what this sub is.
Something fun that I learned is that people who take Ambien call it when you take an Ambien, you boofed it. So they boof Ambien. One of the posts is boofed to 20 milligrams up my bum. It's hitting slowly, and now I'm bored. I don't want to fall asleep. What do skim do? So
Boofing is putting things up your butt, right? Isn't boofing putting anything up your butt?
You know, you might be right about that. I when I was reading this, I assumed boofing was just any kind of Ambien ingestion, but maybe it is specifically up the butt. You could be right, Jesse.
Yeah, I think when you're in prison and you need a cell phone, somebody boofs it for you.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. So yeah, I guess there's a lot of people ingesting it rectally. I didn't know that. Now, should you assume that us talking about that means it's safe for you to do? Yes, absolutely. We're doctors.
I'm a double doctor. I have a PhD and an MD, Jordan.
Whoa, a double D?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, hell yeah. Yes, no, have you ever taken Ambien, Jesse?
I've never taken Ambien. I've taken Xanax, which makes me very sleepy, similarly very sleepy. But I think Ambien enters you into a weird, dreamless dream state, right? Isn't that the nature of Ambien? You're like,
yeah, I think there's a lot of, basically just I'm going off what the time I've spent on this subreddit, but yeah, I think there's like hallucinations. I think there's like kind of trippy, psychedelic stuff that happens.
yeah, and let's just say that the medical condition that Ambien treats, sleeplessness, it can be monumentally difficult to deal with. At the same time, if a doctor gives you medication, don't boof it unless they tell you to boof it, right? Like a doctor will tell you whether you should boof your medication.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure. And the pharmacist, like they'll ask if you want the consultation. Just ask, should I be boofing?
Yeah. I've boofed medication before. Like, I want to be clear. When I was younger, the migraine medication that I take, the class of migraine medications, the triptans, was only available as a suppository, which was my worst nightmare as a 14-year-old or whatever. The idea that you have to put medication into your butthole is just a horrifying nightmare. I think now I'm an adult man. I have control over my body in a way that I didn't when I was 14. I could just do it. I could just do it. You know what I mean? I just do it. I just put it in my butt, right? It'd be fine. It would be fine. I could do it. But when I was 14, it was like this battle between this raging pain in my head and me needing to try and figure out how to get something up my butt. And it was really the worst. It was the absolute worst. So people who are boofing recreationally, I do not relate to this activity. It is a real baffler to me. Are there any particularly excellent posts on r/Ambien that you found, Jordan?
Yeah, I wanted to read one that I thought really just kind of taught me a lot about what it is like to be on Ambien. This is from user hidden evidence, perhaps because you boofed it.
Yeah,
maybe
like
that
evidence got boofed.
Perhaps that's where the evidence went. This is a post titled
Can I ask you a question, Jordan?
Sure.
Before we get into this post, I have one last boof question.
Please.
So you may remember the discussion of former San Francisco Giants and Minnesota Twins pitcher Boof Bonser on this program 10, 15 years ago.
Right. Great name.
Do you think he got that nickname by putting things up his butt as a child?
Great question. I assumed that maybe Boof was short for something.
Boof-follow-you?
Yeah.
Boof-defer?
Yeah. Boofson. Great question. Yes. I mean, hopefully he'll come out with that autobiography soon Call me Boof.
Of all the professional comedy that we do on this program, why is the most amusing part to me the idea of someone named Boof Defer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because listen, we've ingested too much comedy and our brains are melted. So only the
We
world's
shouldn't have
dumbest shit
boofed all
makes
those
us laugh.
episodes of Mr. Show.
We shouldn't have boofed. Shouldn't have
Okay.
stayed up late to boof Kids in the Hall after boofing Saturday Night Live.
By the way, thank you to everyone who is commenting in our chat, saying hello. I was grateful to Stephen put a great comment up on the screen a minute ago. Of course, I forgot what it was.
Yeah, it's
but
probably
I
good,
want to
though.
thank everybody who's watching who's already a member of Maximum Fun. If you're not a member,
Oh,
go to
yeah.
MaximumFun.org/join. And I want to show off before we get to this post my Alex Inc. mug on the live stream.
Oh, yeah. Alex Inc. Back in the zeitgeist. Thanks to us. We should mention that if you become a Max Fun member, you get access to hundreds and hundreds of hours of bonus content, including our new show, Podcast Movie Podcast, parentheses. Sometimes we also talk about shows. Where we will be talking about media that portrays podcasting. We will rank it on its authenticity. Our first episode with Linda Holmes is about Alex Inc., the one season and done season Zach Braff sitcom about him as /Nightmare, about him as a podcaster. We watched it. It is bad. If you want us to watch more of it, we are going to do another episode review every 300 Max Fun members we get. So every 300 new members, upgrading members, we will throw in another episode of the truly awful sitcom Alex Inc. into our Podcast Movie Podcast.
Yeah, I heard, by the way, I asked on the podcast subreddit what people's favorite media with favorite and least favorite media with podcasting.
Oh,
in
okay.
It. Someone suggested a movie that BJ Novak made. Apparently, BJ Novak wrote, directed, and starred in a film about podcasting.
Oh my God. Okay, we're throwing it on the list. Listen, if for some reason we don't end up just watching the entirety of Alex Inc., which I hope we don't. Yeah. I mean, I hope we get the amount of new members required. That would be very cool. But as far as watching it for fun, I don't want to do that. Anyway, so yeah.
r/Ambien. Sorry. I got distracted.
Oh, hey, and also we should call it out. If people have a favorite piece of media featuring podcasting, would love to hear those suggestions too.
Yeah, please.
So this is on r/Ambien. This is from Hidden Evidence. And the title of their post is "Just found these notes from the one time I took Ambien and stayed awake." So this is just like a to-do list, you know, the phone app where you can make a to-do list.
Right.
This
it's good that people are using this as a productivity tool.
Yeah. So this is just a a list of things that this person is thinking while on Ambien. And it goes from goofy to nightmare. So it kind of starts out like this. Interesting visuals. Crazy feeling. Wow. Everything is human related. I always hear music being played around me. I hear them talking and they say words most of the time. Heater sound gets turned into complex music. So I think like this user is just like they're just enjoying the music that the world provides.
Yeah. The music of the spheres.
The music of the spheres. Another show is playing on my screen. I heard a dog licking under my blanket and then confirmed it as ANLT movement, so I lifted the blanket like a dumbass. Jesse, what does that mean? What happened?
Jordan, you're probably one of these dumbass blanket lifters.
I heard not my dog. I heard a dog. Do they not have a dog? I heard a dog licking under my blanket and then confirmed it as an ANLT. What do you think that was supposed to be? Movement. So I lifted the blanket.
Movement?
Yeah, so I confirmed it as an animal movement. So I lifted the blanket like a dumbass. My blanket
turned
decompressed.
out as a fucking badger.
My blanket decompressed air, and I saw it and heard it too.
Well, we can check that one off the to-do list, Jordan.
And then hallucination keeps peeking over my shoulder while I type. They then go on to write, mom talking to me again. So I like this person's mom is in the room or in the house while this is all happening.
Did you see the post that's a picture of a saucepan inside a microwave with no door, and then the subject line is just microwave cook?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, just microwave cook. They must have.
Good.
Who knows how this thing worked?
I bet. I really hope that person's house didn't immediately burn down after that post was made.
Yeah, there's another photograph post, and I'm just going to describe it for the people at home. It's a picture of from the back of a bus looking forward toward the front of a bus. I'm going to be honest, this is a pretty nice bus. This looks like maybe a European bus or one of those nice buses that takes you and your luggage around at the airport, and it has a little carpet in it. I'm just saying it's carpeted. What kind of bus is carpeted? You know what I mean? Especially given what's happening in this picture, which is a man wearing giant 1970s style headphones and drinking from what appears to be a glass half-gallon jug of milk. And the subject line just says, "This guy on the bus going absolutely milk style." I don't know what it has to do with Ambien, but it has 1,659 upvotes in r/Ambien right now.
Going absolutely milk style. That does sound like just the r/Ambien version of a Jordan Jesse Go momentous occasion. Like saw a guy on carpeted bus drinking milk out of a glass jar. That is like, that's a classic Jordan Jesse Go momentous occasion, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Steven, did you get the text message that I sent you with a post from the subreddit? Because this is something that has to be seen to be believed.
Yes. Let me share this in a second. But yeah, this is I don't know what this is. It looks insane. Let me go post it.
This is a post from user One Sad Bean, and this is only 5 days ago. Like we're really only focusing on posts from the last week or so. We haven't gone deep into the archives to find the bonkersist r/Ambien posts. But this post, which Stephen is going to show to everyone on the stream, is what I would describe as a tasteful upper middle class kitchen area.
Yeah.
Dark wood cabinets, stainless steel.
Yeah. Nice stainless steel fridge there.
The fridge has blue lines radiating from it in one direction that have been drawn onto the screen. Then red lines radiating from its front corner backwards. So one is from its front edge sideways, one from its front corner backwards. It looks like someone imagining what a refrigerator would do if it could move and not be stopped, like Colossus from the X-Men.
Right. Yes.
And user One Sad Bean has posted this with the title, "Is the?"
Yes, this it. This it.
Somebody wrote yes. Somebody wrote really gives you some perspective.
Open and watch for a moment. That seems kind of threatening. I would honestly agree.
I would honestly kind of agree, TBH.
Can I finish up the last few entries into this Notes app thing?
Yeah, please.
So I think the last when we left this post, Mom is in my room bitching at me. Him. So that's happening. Mom's bitching again. Fucking mom. I keep hearing conversations. Part 2. Heater fills itself with scoop. What?
Heater fills itself with scoop.
And then here's the final posts. And, this is like the ending to the Blair Witch Project. I'm just trying to survive this notes app, dude, to it scaring me. Every blanket, pillow, and shirt on my became alive. Seems scary at first, but they're chill.
You know
Every
what? I
blank
find
pillow
that
and shirt on my became alive.
I find that very comforting. And you know what
Yeah.
else is comforting to me?
Hmm.
This post that's called "What I Bought" on Ambien.
Yes.
It's a photograph of 3 items: an optical gaming keyboard,
Uh-huh.
an optical gaming mouse. Mouse is called Basilisk, and the keyboard is called Huntsman Mini.
Okay, these are the brands.
And a copy of the Communist Manifesto by Marx and Engels.
That's going to be a fun night.
Yeah,
That's
how
gonna
we're
be
gonna
a
flip
fun
the
night.
table on this shit.
Hell yeah.
USA #1.
Well, yeah, thank you. Please keep sending in your favorite subreddits. JJGo at MaximumFun.org. We're going to be doing one of these live streams every weekday till the end of the Max Fun Drive. These will be in your Max Fun or in your Jordan Jesse Go feed, and then after the pledge drive, it'll only be available to Max Fun members. So MaximumFun.org/join. You get access to the archives of this show. You get access to all of our bonus stuff, including podcast movie podcast.
Our thanks this week today to Colin and Hunter, Claire, David, Mike, Dan, Nilsson, Wes, White G, Steven, everybody who has been watching and commenting, Charlie, Kirsten, everybody who's been watching and commenting across all of the platforms. I bet a lot of you are already members of Maximum Fun. You can go to MaximumFun.org/join and upgrade. But if you're listening to this at home via podcast, these episodes will only be up for everyone during the Max Fun Drive. Then they are headed to behind the bonus content curtain, where we will also be hosting our new podcast, movie podcast, and also sometimes we watch shows.
Yeah.
Where our Burt Reynolds recap podcast, Stash Rules Everything Around Me, lives. Where Gracie's Game Gauntlet, our show about terrible video games that my daughter Grace made us play, live. That's all only for members of Maximum Fun. So if you're not yet a member, it's easy to become one at MaximumFun.org/join. It's the Max Fun Drive. This is the time that we ask you to do that. So whip out that phone, grab that keyboard, that Monolith brand gaming keyboard that you bought.
Get your Communist Manifesto.
And go to MaximumFun.org/join. Somebody on Instagram commented, "This is like socialism." And then they said, "I think that is good." But actually, I'm going to go with this is like anarchism. So we're all going to be passing the conch to decide who gets to talk. MaximumFun.org/join is where you can go to become a member of Maximum Fun and support our program. Thank you to News Vivals for posting. I've done some pretty fucked up stuff on Ambien, accidentally.
Ain't it the truth? Haven't we all?
Yeah. Bon voy to you, News Vivants. Bon voy to you. We'll talk to you tomorrow and every day during the Max Fun Drive at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern on the Max Fun YouTube channel, on Jordan Jesse Go's Facebook and Instagram accounts. And who knows, maybe we'll upgrade our StreamYard subscription so we can put it on other social media channels. We'll see. But in the meantime, those are your platforms. We'll talk to you next time on Jordan Jesse Go. And
I'll hug you and kiss you and love you. Love you. Love you. Love you.